But
Can we be real grown about it though? Can we be real
be real
grown?
grown.
So listen, I had a situation. I had a really bad breakup. I'm talking about neck tears, wall slide, like like just bad breakup. And as much as I wanted to blame my ex for what I was feeling, I went to church one day, and my pastor, I sat in church, and I felt like you ever have moments in church, and the pastor be talking to you, and you feel like you in there by yourself.
I
And he
promise
said
you.
to me, and I quote, "What's broken in you to make you commit to somebody that reminds you that you're not lovable?" I'm gonna say it
Say
again,
that again.
just in case
Say
y'all
it
don't hear
again.
me. What's
Yeah.
broken in you that make you commit to somebody that reminds you that you're not lovable? And as much
Mm,
as I want to be mad at her, the hardest part about that breakup was me forgiving myself for um, loving this person the way I did. Because I had all the signs. I got every red flag. I feel like maybe I didn't like the shade at the time because I was trying to prove it to myself that it'll work. But I
yeah.
got every red flag that I needed. And I kept going back trying to make it right and reconcile was in my head. Because what happens is when you're away from that person, you romanticize the good part. You romanticize the good things. You romanticize, man, I missed him in my space. I missed the things we shared. I miss our shows and all this. You know, you got your little TV show that you like with your person. And when a
Yeah.
song come on, you run. But then when you get with them, you are reminded swiftly of, oh, this is why I broke up with you. And I feel like most people don't take the accountability for that. And sometimes that being friends with your ex is a loophole or a roundabout way of saying, let's stay connected so I can keep tabs on you until I figure my life out. Because if you get married before me, if you get married before me or date before me, I will not be happy for you. But if I do it before you, I can flex and show you that I've moved on and I'm better, even though you have not taken the time off to do the work because they're still in your space. And it's hard to heal in an environment where the person that's part of the trauma is still in your space. So sometimes when you have a really bad breakup, you got to quarantine. You got to quarantine yourself from that person in order to detox and
That's
find
good.
out why you did what you did. And for me, when I quarantined, I figured out what I did wrong. I figured out
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of my fixing that I was doing was because
Mm-hmm.
of my childhood trauma. I went to therapy. A lot of my childhood trauma made me want to fix everything that's broken around me versus letting things fall apart. Because sometimes I feel like in relationships, especially church people, we feel like we got this magical kind of love and prayer life that can fix all things broken. But at the same time, God is a very jealous God. And when you become God in a person's life, when you lead them to church and you keep on them by going to church and you're doing all this stuff, you can't sustain something that you create. But if
Mm-hmm.
God creates a heart for them to soften up to want to go to church on their own, he can sustain it. But if you're the person on them about reading their Bible, on them about going to church, on them about getting a job, on them about being a better person, on them about what they should do in a relationship, their heart ain't right. That ain't your job. You cannot be God in their life, and God is a very jealous God, and He'll let it all fall apart. And then He'll remind you that you need Him in the beginning anyway. So if you have two people that are not chasing God as much as they're chasing each other, that will happen at the end of it every single time. And that's
You
Ron
said
3:16.